This is a Saturday Morning TVLog from Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. Welcome to another Saturday Morning TVLog, and this time around it's I Am the Greatest, The Adventures of Muhammad Ali, brought to us by Farmhouse Films. Greetings, my fellow YouTubers. I'm the Big D, and this is Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So this week's Saturday Morning TV Log is on another underrated and short-lived show. It's I Am the Greatest, The Adventures of Muhammad Ali. It was an animated series that focused on fictional adventures of Cassius Clay, better known around the world as the greatest heavyweight boxer himself, Muhammad Ali, getting into all sorts of adventures and mysteries. Originally premiering on NBC in September of 1977 and produced by Farmhouse Films, which was formerly Fred Calvert Films, who of course was one of the co-creators of the series, who of course also was the same person who also worked on various animated segments in earlier seasons of Sesame Street, as well as the 1960s animated series Roger Ramjet. He created the series with Kimmy Calvert, John Paxton, and Janice Diamond, who later went on to write episodes of the original He-Man and the Masters of the Universe and the Mr. T cartoon and others. Now, the series followed Ali himself, who actually voices himself, as a matter of fact, on his trips around the world as he participated in fights and exhibitions. Along the way, adventure would seem to find him in the form of saboteurs, poachers, thieves, and other forms of trouble that would plague the locals of whatever or wherever he was visiting. Ali, being the man he was, couldn't just sit idly by when there was a possibility he could help. Despite the violent nature of his well known occupation, being on Saturday morning meant the resolutions to the programs lean more into nonviolent solutions. Situations and mysteries were solved through Ali's worldly knowledge, and with words and moments of physically were generally relegated to minor grappling. Now, each week, Ali, along with his fictional niece and nephew, niece is Nikki, voiced by Patrice Carmichael, and the nephew Damon, voiced by Casey Carmichael. I'm no pretty sure they're related. Plus their dog Bad News. Additionally, it also features Ali's real life public relations agent and hype man Frank Bannister, who also lent his voice to the series as well as himself. While the kids were always deep into the adventure, Frank was more of a reluctant participant. Now, boy, this. Sorry about that, everyone. I kind of had a little bit of issue here. Apologies. Well, he was focused on making sure Ali met his obligations and set up the next one, and was exasperated trying to keep up when he would run off on an escapade, Frank was. Anyway, the show started on September 10th. Some of the show's writers included John Bates, Carol Beers, Rooker Bradshaw, Ellen Christensen, David Christensen, Joseph R. Henderson, Brian Joseph, and Gene Moss. Now, of course, I'm giving this from a different source. It's not my usual one. I'm getting this from an actual Saturday morning site. Now, the music and sound effects for the series were done by Charles, let me see here, Blaker and Robert V. Green, although he was credited as Corky Green. The entire cast recorded in Hollywood, with the exception of Ali, whom Calvert would fly out to meet in Philadelphia to record his lines. Now, each episode also featured a brief live action segment at the end of each episode where Ali would deliver some personal words of wisdom to the audience, similar to what we would later get in shows like Mr. T and Chuck Norris Karate Commandos. Although those Although, unlike Ali's series, those two shows had, well, mention of what was at the start of the episode, and then finished with more at the end. Anywho, yes. Despite Ollie's larger than life presence and popularity, which this was from right about the time he actually managed to make a comeback after, well, I really don't want to try and get on too much of the subject. I'm pretty sure a lot of you know what happened. Anyway, the show unfortunately failed to catch on with audiences, and it was not well received, unfortunately, either. It was dropped after only one season, and apparently, and yeah, and apparently it was also not well received by critics and what have you. So this show ended up being a major big disappointment. However, this was from a time when NBC actually brought back some more animated series after they had a bit of a disappointment with live action shows taking up most of their line of the previous season. Even though they tried yet again with some. Anywho, now then, I Am the Greatest aired on the Peacock Network at in the 10:30, 9:30 Central Time slot originally. But unfortunately, the fall and after going through the fall and what have you, it was later dropped and well, they sent it to the early bird time slot at 7:30, 6:30 Central. It wasn't just because they was having a bit of an issue strong with the ratings, because it also was going up against some big competition like Scooby's All Star Laugh Olympics on ABC, that which also premiered, and so I'd say that's probably one of the reasons why it didn't do so hot. The same went with CBS's new live action show from Filmation, Space Academy, until it was later sent to a later time and replaced with the Batman Tarzan Adventure Hour. And so it was sent to 7:30, 6:30 Central in the early bird time slot, replacing the Pink Panther show, which was later sent to a later time. And Ali's former time slot for the rest of the season was taken over by Space Sentinels, originally started out as Young Sentinels. So apparently, this show just didn't do so hot. I really wish it could have. Anyway, I feel like I Am the Greatest, The Adventures of Muhammad Ali is actually, in a way, a precursor to shows like the Mr. T cartoon or even the adult animated Mike Tyson mysteries. So, yeah, it's actually kind of in a way like those because the Mike Tyson mysteries can also have a little bit of a funny bit with the live action Mike Tyson in the end. But anyway, from what I've seen of this show looks so underrated. I wish this could have kept going. But I can understand why it was not well received by everybody. But is there a way to see the show? Yes. The series later, well, now, after Muhammad's death in 2016, or should I say Ali's death, well, he goes by either name. He went by either name when he changed that name to Muhammad Ali. So after his death in 2016, as the show had never been re-aired again, the show returned in a special Memorial Day marathon in 2016, right after Ali's death, as it was shown on the El Rey network when it was formerly a cable and satellite channel. Now, of course, it's a fast channel which you had to stream, making it the first time it would be shown on TV since it first ever aired. Now, the show is unfortunately not on physical media either, although bootlegs are flowing around the internet, and the El Rey airings have been preserved as part of the Internet Archive, which you can find on there. No problem. The episodes are also available on YouTube, so I've actually watched all of them. Now, unfortunately, not all episodes included Ollie's words of wisdom at the end of the episodes. A few of them didn't have them, but most of them did have them and what have you. So now you know about Now you know this show is pretty underrated, but I feel like it's a great show with great characters. I don't care what anybody says. I'm doing what I can to defend this series. So now you should believe that this is a show I would like to recommend to you. If you're a fan of the Mr. T cartoon, or if you like the adult animated Mike Tyson mysteries, then I'd say you'll feel right at home with this show. It's really good. So don't mind what the critics said a long time ago. That was a long time ago. That was like almost 50 years ago. But I'm sure that's changed in the past. That's all in the past. That's water under the bridge, etc., etc. You know the story, okay? So anyway, let me go ahead and give you a look at our characters. Here's an actual shot of what Ollie looks like in the actual animated series. Here's a shot of Frank. Here's a pic of Damon. And here's Nikki. I'm sorry I had to show you separate pictures of the main cast and Wiley, but now you know what they look like. So now you know about I Am the Greatest, The Adventures of Muhammad Ali. Short lived, but I feel like this is a very, very underrated animated series. I should have deserved a little more respect and Wiley, but I completely have read some of the story of what happened before this even came along with Ali and what have you. And well, since it's been a decade, this year would be a decade since we lost him at the age of 74, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. So yes, I was right. At the age of 74, I am going to say this is easily an underrated show, and I would recommend this to you. I think you'll enjoy it, but you be the judge. So, what did you think of I Am the Greatest, The Adventures of Muhammad Ali? Let me know in the comment section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, click the bell for notifications, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to help support my channel, and you know the rest. And join me later tonight when I bring to you a review of Shakespeare in Love. Now, of course, I will have a special video come up later in the day. Okay? So stay tuned for that as well, as I will be seeing a new movie, and I'll give you an out there reaction to that, which will be coming out tomorrow due to the fact that I'm reviewing Shakespeare in Love tonight. Okay, everyone? So, okay, that's going to do it. If you like this, check out the Saturday Morning TV logs for some of these other celebrity tunes and what have you. In the upper left-hand corner, check out the Saturday Morning TV log on the Mr. T cartoon from 1983, or go to the upper right hand corner and see the Saturday Morning TV log on this show, which may not have the actual voices of the main cast, but they appear in live action form though, and that's Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling, which is now available to watch on YouTube, as a matter of fact. Or if you like something else, check out the TV log I did for Mike Tyson Mysteries in the bottom left hand corner. And the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe if you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., as well as the Saturday Morning TV log. Then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching, and next week's Saturday Morning TV log is Pittsburgh Pigs. So until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.